Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday the 13th of June 2021. Thanks for joining me. I want to use the Witch's Tarot again for today's reading. Let's see what the cards have to say about Sunday. Okay, so the first card is the Five of Pentacles. Then we've got the Magician and the King of Cups again. Okay, very interesting. So any rejection that you may experience is actually a blessing in disguise, because what seems to be winter and what seems to be cold gives rise to something new. It allows you to rediscover yourself or to discover yourself for the first time. It really makes you independent, and it shows you who you are on your own, regardless of the rejection you've experienced, other people's opinions, people saying no to you, situations that haven't worked out. And it really shows you that you can be there for yourself, that you can love yourself. And that's really the beginning of a new kind of relationship with you and with the people in your life. So this is a really significant day where certain relationships may come to a screeching halt, and you realize that despite the fact that you've tried and worked at it, it just isn't, it's not going to happen. Some situations are beyond your control, and you can't control other people's mindset or what they think about you. And the only responsibility you have is to yourself, in the sense that you're entitled to have a good life and that you want to have love in your life. And you can only do that by, what is it Maya Angelou says? When someone shows you who they are, you've got to believe them. So this is really quite a tough experience, but it's the kind of experience that really makes you grow up quickly. And it's really liberating in the sense that you don't have to kowtow to anybody. You don't really have to rationalize other people's behavior. You can actually believe it. Wow, okay. So the Five of Pentacles in itself is a card that's about rejection and tough times and difficulty. It can also be ill health. So it doesn't just have to be a person who rejects you. It can be a feeling that your body has rejected you or betrayed you because it's not doing what you want it to do. So if you have some sort of an illness, it shows you that despite the illness, that you are untouched by that physical ailment. You are not your body. You're something bigger than your body. And this little flower at the front here is really the important thing about this card. So we all experience hardships in life, whether it's financial rejection. Remember, Pentacles has to do with money, the body, your daily routine. So a hardship that you're experiencing in that aspect of your life could show you that you're not your bank balance and you're not your accountant. You're not exactly what you have in life, and that can free you up. And again, that's very difficult. Imagine you live in, I don't know, some glorious place in a mansion, and suddenly all of that is taken away from you, and you're just standing by yourself with a few belongings. You really are going to have to rely on yourself and realize that you can either recreate the wealth that you had, or that you aren't the wealth, you aren't the house. But it does take a change in perception, and it forces you to adapt to your new circumstances. So this really isn't easy. It's not saying, oh, you know, I'm ill, I'm not my body, hooray, let's skip off. It's really then having to live with that illness and saying, I don't believe my body that says that I can't do certain things, I'm incapacitated. And it really forces you to make a huge shift in perception to say, I am strong and myself, regardless of what my body is telling me. And in my experience, that takes a real upheaval. That's something that's really quite difficult to achieve. And it forces you to see yourself as you truly are, which is a spiritual being having a human experience. So whether it's other people or the body or money or your security that seems to be going through this winter, it's very much a blessing in disguise, because something that is lost and that's taken away from you, which all of us try to avoid, because as human beings, we like to be comfortable and we like to know what's happening tomorrow. That really forces you to kind of grow the way this plant has to force its way through the snow, and then it reveals your true inner beauty. So this is something that's important, and that signals real spiritual progress, but it's something that none of us really want to do or experience. So this is a day of personal growth, whether you've signed up for it or not. And anything that is challenging in your life, look at it differently and see it as an opportunity to become more yourself. So by having that thing removed, which you relied on, you're really able to step back into your own power, the power of the magician. He's covered in this red cloak, the occult symbols scribbled onto it. And it reminds you that the power in your life really resides in you, not your job, not your inheritance, not your physical health. And that if you listen to what you're passionate about amongst all this difficulty, imagine all the heat of this card being applied to the snow here. It's going to melt it all away, and it's going to reveal the landscape underneath. So you really have the power to change the landscape of your life and the way your life looks simply by getting back in touch with yourself. So the magician here, he's got this infinity symbol that he's creating with his wand, and you're able to tap into this eternal power that resides within you, and you're able to translate that into new circumstances, into a different environment in your life. You've got all the elements at your disposal here, and a magician makes magic. So by using the tools that are at your disposal, you're really able to turn things around completely, and then that works and serves as evidence of your independence. I made it happen. I kind of took the ruins and I built something out of those ruins. And that really gives you proof that you are worth loving, that you are someone who is reliable, that you do have your own best interests at heart, that you're a lot more powerful than you realized. And that is love that's kind of based on experience, and that's a solo experience, in the sense that it isn't about someone else or your circumstances or an object that you love. It's really knowing that if you truly just listen to yourself and follow your own guidance, that you're going to have the best relationship that you can possibly have with yourself. And this may seem really difficult and challenging, and maybe you don't even want a relationship with yourself. You prefer a comfortable life. But this day isn't about that. It's not going to give you ease and comfort. It's going to give you an opportunity to see yourself as you truly are. And it completely liberates you from any circumstances that have held you down or held you back. So if you're someone who struggles to assert yourself, or if you feel like you're codependent, or you feel like you're dependent on other people taking care of you, or your circumstances, or your job, or your appearance that get you through life, you really are able to dig deeper and see yourself at a much more core level. And it removes any illusion that you're held hostage by your life. You're really not. You can choose again. You can throw everything up in the air, and you can start all over again if you want, because you're now your own best friend. Your heart is open. And the self-reliance that you learn on this day, you can then see in other people. And you can build really positive relationships with other people who don't control you, or who aren't, self-interested, or who try and manipulate you. It's people who've been through a similar experience and whose eyes have kind of been opened to who they really are. And then you can have really beautiful relationships with people who are spiritually and emotionally healthy and self-reliant the way you are. In my experience, really wonderful things in life take a little bit of work. And if you want to be the person you've always felt you are, you're going to have to first recognize your identity or the kind of potential that you have. And this is a day that isn't messing around. It really pulls away all the illusions you've had about yourself, you know, all the training that you've received from people in your life, or the way your life has kind of shaped you. And this is a day where you become yourself, not because of your experience, but because of a remembrance of who you are and a reconnection with who you are. So a lot of people say, oh, you know, I'm really glad I had that experience in my life because it's made me the person I am. This is the opposite. I've got certain experiences happening in my life, and they've got nothing on me, because through these experiences, I've discovered who I am underneath all of that, and I've re-emerged. So I'm free to design myself as I truly am, and I love myself for that. And my life doesn't have anything on me, nor can anything control me, nor am I going to be shaped into something I'm not. I am consistently myself. And no matter how hard things are, or difficult or unpleasant, I'm not going to shrivel up and let my heart be turned into something bitter and tiny and horrible. I'm going to remember who I am, which is an eternal spiritual being full of love and able to create life exactly the way I want it to be. Kind of profound, if you ask me. Number-wise, we've got 5, and 1 is 6, and 1 is 7. 7 is the mind and creativity. So you have a complete change of perception of the way you see yourself, and you're able to get creative with the things that you love, and you're able to manifest them into your life. So this is the ultimate day of not being a victim and being the star of your own life, and really feeling like, or being able to connect with that part of you that is free from all influence. Any influence that the world has had on you, you're able to completely control, alt, delete that, get a clean slate, and re-emerge as the person you truly are. So regardless of what's happened to you, you get a do-over. And you get the opportunity to start again. Wow. Okay, so you'll have moments during the day where that naturally that perspective naturally appears. So you don't have to sit down and meditate on the truth of your experience. Something or someone or just a moment will appear in your life that really allows you to remove the kind of kaleidoscopic image or view you've had of yourself, and it's just pulled away and the truth is revealed. So it's a day of miracles. It really is, because if you see yourself as you truly are, then you can build a life that reflects that, and you don't have to downplay yourself or settle for things which really are beneath you, and you're able to really manifest a wonderful experience. I read yesterday that scientists have discovered that the universe is conscious. And I think we've all kind of known that, because what you think, thoughts are things, and what you focus on gets bigger. And it's kind of like a conversation between you and the higher realms. And if you're having a clear, authentic, loving conversation with yourself, then your experience is going to reflect that. The universe kind of meets you halfway all the time. And this is a day where not only is the universe kind of conscious, you become consciously aware of who you are and what your real strength is. And no one can take that away from you ever. So congrats. Good for all of us. Have a fabulous day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a fabulous Sunday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.